I didn't do any running or any kind of exercise until I got the diabetes diagnosis at the age of 51. So the longest I've run in my life is, in my adult life, is 11 kilometers. That's about maybe 6.8 miles. Normally this hill, I do it maximum twice a week, and the shorter hill 1 or 2 times a week. My day typically begins at 5 a.m. Then I'll do a few things in the home. And then I go to the gym around 5:30, 5:45, because I also don't like being out when it's too dark alone. I like being out when there are other people moving. And maybe if you didn't know, I was born in that part of the world where the Olympic champions in running come from. That is in Eastern Africa, in the Rift Valley. And for some reason, during my childhood, I was that child who would be I would be the last one in running. Well, I guess maybe there were just too many who are better than me. And this continued. But when I got to high school, I improved a little. And now I became second last from last. So high school, by the time I left high school, I had actually improved. And I'd moved to the first or second quarter of the runners in the school. And then something happened. I didn't run for almost 10 years after college. And then at the age of about 35 or so, I did my first weight loss, where I tried running. And I'd run 2 to 3 kilometers. The weight quickly came off, but unfortunately, I slid back into bad habits. And for 15 years, I didn't do any running or any kind of exercise until I got the diabetes diagnosis at the age of 51. So the running I can talk more about that has been consistent in my life is the running I've done in my 50s. And having not run for so long, I did not just wake up one morning and run. I actually started by running or walking on an elliptical, or that's a cross trainer. And then I moved on to the road. But it was just coincidental. It's because the elliptical broke down. And now I had to run on the road. So I started by doing like 3/4 walking, a quarter running. And it would be about 3 kilometers maximum. So I did this for a while, and gradually I increased the number of kilometers. I eventually did get to about 4 or 5 kilometers for a long time, and I stopped there for a while. The only thing I did in between was to improve the speed. But when I was training to go to Mount Kenya, that's when I now began to make a lot of changes in my running. It was in that season that I began doing intervals on a hill in my neighborhood, where I would actually sprint as fast as I can, and then take a breathe for and rest for about 30 seconds to a minute or so, and then again I would run. So that was, I can say, one phase of my life where it was quite intense in terms of running. So it's been a journey for me. And then when I wanted to go to Mount Kilimanjaro in 2024, I did a different kind of running. It's in this season I now began doing the long runs on a hill. It's actually on this hill where I'm walking, where I would do these long trainings. And I remember at my peak, I was running about 4 to 5 kilometers 2 days a week. And then I would run another 6 to 7 kilometers another 2 days a week. I was averaging about 24, 25 kilometers in a week. And I remember just about a month before I went to Kilimanjaro, there was a week I ran 28 kilometers, meaning I could easily have run 100 kilometers or 120 kilometers in a month. So in that season, that was the very intense training because I really focused on the running. But I've since scaled down because when I was training for Mount Kilimanjaro, I would run those 4 days and I would be in the gym for 2 days a week and rest for 1 day in a week. But now I've scaled down, I do less. Twice a week, I do about 3 to 4 kilometers. And then once a week, I'll do maybe the 6 kilometer long run. There was a season I was training for a charity run for a bursary fund, which was 10 kilometers. So it was in that season, I remember during one of my trainings, I actually did run 11 kilometers. But I've stopped doing the long 10 or 11 kilometer runs. I just found it was a bit overwhelming. And then I'd be too tired to exercise for a number of days. So now I tend to not do that 10 kilometer run anymore. I think once you get used to it, you kind of feel you're missing something if you don't do it. Like now, if I don't exercise for 3 days, I start feeling restless. I can't sleep too well. And of course, if I don't exercise for 2 weeks, then my sugar will start to climb slowly. I think it is the motivation of knowing that that's my medicine. But also, like after the long run, there is I think they call it the runner's high, a niceness you feel. Yeah, but that's why when you don't run like for 3-4 days, you start feeling a bit low. What time do I run? I prefer to do my runs in the morning, just at daybreak. Normally, just before the sun gets out, about 5:30 earliest, latest 5:45 a.m. You'll find me out on the roads running in the darkness just before daybreak, so that by about maybe 6:30, latest 7 o'clock, I'm back home and to get ready for the day. I'm not really an evening runner. I don't know, I think naturally I'm a morning person. So if I don't run in the morning, I'll find so many things to do. And by evening, I'll find that I'm too tired to even do it. Am I always motivated to do this run? No. There are days actually I prefer to be in my bed at that hour, or maybe just doom scrolling on the phone. So I think it calls for discipline and focus. So to just make sure that I don't miss out on the run, I will, from time to time, I arrange, before I go to sleep, I usually arrange my things. There'll be my shoes there by the door and my clothes arranged in a position somewhere in the bedroom where I could easily even dress in darkness if I wanted to. So when I wake up, I roll out of bed and actually I change into my running clothes. So what benefits have I experienced from running? I remember when I wanted to lose weight, running was actually the only exercise I could do, running and walking. because this was during the lockdown. We were just coming out of 2020, and gyms were closed, and even any other social places were closed. So I found that running was the most I could do at that time. And then I also got to find out that running removes fat from all parts of your body. And for sure, I really wanted fat to get out of my liver and my pancreas so that my insulin can work properly and my sugar can come under control. So that was the reason I started with the running. It was what was available, and I also really wanted it to work fast. Did that finally solve my problem? Yes, it did. Because within 9 months, I'd lost 14 kilograms. That's about 30 pounds by just running. And for me, that was really an achievement. So is running always enjoyable? Yes, it is, because sometimes, like when I do the long run over 5 kilometers, I'll get this runner's high, because when you run, your body produces endorphins, which are actually feel-good hormones. So you actually feel really good. And it's one of the benefits I've since experienced. There are many other benefits, like I sleep better when I run. And of course, the issue of managing the blood sugar levels. Not to mention the issues of managing even the blood pressure. So there are multiple benefits. Is it always enjoyable? I think I have to be honest, maybe not all the time. Because especially in the beginning, you will definitely feel some pain. In the beginning, you'll feel pain in your knees, in your muscles. So don't stop when that happens. I found that one of the best ways I could actually counter this was to exercise my legs in the gym. So when I began doing weight training in the gym, the exercises for the legs somehow strengthen the body. So those are some of the benefits I've experienced. Please join me in running. Thank you so much for watching this video. Give the video a like, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed. And I will see you in the next video.